So the name of the certification is Generative Trance. Trance is not very known in France. So could you tell me more about trance compared to hypnosis?
Well, yeah, it's a very awkward set of terms, I think. You know, at Stanford, I was studying with Ernest Hilgard, who had the Stanford Hypnosis Laboratory. That's where they developed all these so-called standardized tests for hypnotizability. I studied with Milton Erickson, who really shifted the whole understanding of hypnotic trance radically. But I would say trance is this sort of universal consciousness where we give our primary focus to sort of the dreamer or the world of imagination, where everything is free. Everything's like in a dream, or you're in some sort of just open creative process. Nothing is bound, nothing is locked. So you can go anywhere from anywhere. Anything can turn into anything. So we see that as, you might call it, a quantum consciousness. And, you know, sometimes I give as a really prime example the Monet paintings as examples of what we would call a quantum field or a trance field. And you see in those Monet paintings this beautiful visual example of something that has no fixed figure ground. It's sort of shimmering, so that out of that great ocean, just about anything can emerge. Whenever attention tunes into that realm, that's trance. That realm is the balance and the complement to what we would call the realist or the conscious mind, which has a particular perspective, and it has plans and sequences and understandings and frames of reference. We see in creativity that we really need both. In fact, I'd say all the creativity models the last 100 years emphasize this conversation between the two worlds. So how do we know that it's time for quote unquote trance? When our social cognitive mind can't get the job done. So we're going through, we want to create something, that there's a question that we're facing, there's an important relationship challenge, and whatever we're doing isn't working. So we have a saying in American English: if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. What that means is stop just doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. So that's the time where we go back to, we say in English, back to the drawing board, or go back into the ocean, where we let go of all our fixed understandings and we take a dive to see what new understanding, new experiences can begin to emerge. That's trance. Now, trance is developed through different social rituals, if you will. So one of your identities is as a dancer. I'm sure there are certain dance processes where you're interested in just going into this open flow state. That would be a sort of a trance ritual. Hypnosis is that, meditation would be another trance ritual. In the West, hypnosis evolved as the sort of the mainstream way to develop trance, and it's unfortunate because it carries this idea of one person controlling another person, of taking whatever new idea that you hope, or new behavior that you hope a person will develop, or they hope, and sort of programming it in, putting it in terms of external suggestion. We would say that's the problem, not the solution. So about 15 years ago, I just started decoupling those ideas of trance and hypnosis, even though it's still sort of awkward
Yeah.
to say we're looking to help people get into these creative dream or imagination states without a rigid sequence or without being controlled by somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it generative trance rather than generative hypnosis.
Thank you. Really interesting. Thank you, Steve.